All right, everybody. Hello there. I'm just gonna wait and see, make sure that we are live. I think we are. Um, okay, so we are live. Hold up. Let me just make sure I share this. There we go. There we are. There we are. Okay, perfect. So today we are going to be, hi guys. I already see some of you guys are here. I'm so sorry. I was like, oh, I forgot to send that one message. Okay. So today we're going to be talking about something that I think many of you guys have. If you, oh my gosh, how do I even frame this? Many of you guys have probably felt the pain of like, how do I finish what I start? I like, how many of us have ever started projects, heard from God, I'm supposed to do this thing. Hello. If you're watching, say hi, say hello in the chat. Let me know you're here. And if you're watching the replay, you want to put hashtag replay. So many of us start like, I'm just going to dive in, guys, because today I wanted to share with you guys something that I was thinking of, the 3 top myths, the 3 top lies that keep you from finishing what you start. Hope y'all heard me. The 3 top things that keep you from actually getting to the end, like actually completing. And not just start and stop, and like this abrupt, unnatural stop, or start and quit. So there's 3 things. Hey, Kami, joining us from Manitoba. Let me know who else is here, because I see a ton of you guys are here. Let me know who you are and where you're joining us from. But the 3 top things that keep you from actually getting to the end, getting to a finish point. And I'm not talking about this on every single thing. Like, it's very easy for us to start and complete things that are simply tasks, right? So if you go to work and you're watching this video, or you run a business, there's tasks that you just get it done. You show up and you do it. Just because you have to. A lot of the time, the motivation we have to get some stuff done is because it's somebody else's thing. So it's like you don't have a choice, whether you like it or not, whether you're bored or not, whether you're engaged or not, you just get it done because it's someone else's thing. And what many of us notice is that when it comes to our own thing, so the thing that you feel God has called you to do, we often will start it and then we stop, or even if we finish, is like those home base that's like, it's like you just scrape through your teeth to get to the other side. And that's how it is every single time it is your thing. So if you guys are watching and you know what I'm talking about, type it in the chat. Okay? When you make a decision and you're like, I'm going to blank because I really feel God is leading me to take this decision or leading me to take this place of action. And every single time you make those decisions, it's like exciting in the moment and you feel it and you're like, yeah, this is what I'm meant to be doing right now. And then it's like, check back 5 months later and the fire is gone and you ain't feeling it no more. And it doesn't feel like it's working. And so more often than not, it's dead. It's done. It's not happening. And I wanted to just share with you guys today 3 top things that actually stop you from being able to finish what you start. So if you are watching this and you know that there's something, it's not many things. I'm not talking about a whole heap of stuff. And sometimes it's a whole heap of stuff, but I'm talking about those things that are so close to your heart. The one thing that you truly care about, that you know is a mission for you in this world, on this planet, that you have not seen yourself complete. Now, I just want to make sure you guys can hear me. Can all of y'all hear me? Because the last time I did a Facebook Live, no one could hear me. And I'm not playing that game again. No, I'm not. Okay, let me just make sure. You know what? I'm gonna just get this because I don't see Here we go. I am going to share this if it will allow me. Here. Okay, here we go. It's not I don't see where to share this thing because here. I've not figured this thing out. It's all good. So what are the top 3 things? Let's get into it because I can hear you guys. You guys are like, Toyin, what are the top 3 things? What are the top things that do not allow me to finish what I start? There's 3 myths. So here's the first myth. Are you guys ready? Yes. There's a belief that if you are passionate about God, you won't sabotage yourself in obeying him. Here we go. So if I really love God, then I'll just do what he's telling me to do and I'll finish it. It's a belief we have. It's a myth. Because the truth is, many people love God genuinely, like actually, not even a lie. And yet we don't finish what he tells us to do. Not because you don't want to, not because you don't try, not because you don't really give yourself to it, but because you literally sabotage yourself. But we don't notice it because we make it spiritual when sometimes it's a matter of like just getting your mind free. What do I mean by this? If you guys are watching this and if you care about this stuff, if you care about this conversation, then you may know there's a verse in the Bible, Romans 12, verse 1 and 2. And in verse 2 it says, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind so that you may do what is that perfect and acceptable will of God. In order for you to do the perfect and acceptable will of God, you need to be transformed by the renewing of your mind. So many of us have heard that verse and we believe it and we quote it and we love it, but we never renew our mind. And so we wonder why on earth. I just want to make sure, can you guys hear me? I see you. Hey, Robbie. Hey, Alana. Hey, Francie. Hey, Jane. Hey, Jane. Love you. And hey, Kirsten. So it's like, I want to do the thing that he's telling me to do, but we try to muscle our way through it. We try to will our way through it. We try to just push and grind and I'm just going to get it done. I'm just going to get it done. I'm just going to get it done. And every single time we hit a wall because we haven't acknowledged that there has to be something in my mind that has to be ready to actually see this thing actually come to pass. And like, what do I mean practically? Maybe I'll break this up into 3 different Facebook Lives because this myth alone is a whole piece on its own. What do I mean by that? I mean, how many of you guys have felt like God is telling you to start an orphanage? Let's use the example of starting an orphanage. And you're like, okay, cool, I'm going to start this orphanage. Hey, Fatine. Yes. Hey, Maya. Yes, I'm going to start this orphanage and it's going to be to the glory of God and we're just going to get this thing done. And you start, you get a couple of friends together, or a couple of colleagues who also care about orphanages, also care about children who don't have their parents with them. And you're like, okay, cool, let's do this orphanage thing. And then as you start the process, like any other thing, there's a ton of hoops to jump through. And so you keep on hitting all these roadblocks. It's like things just keep blowing up in front of you. And we just assume that it's like either spiritual. So obviously first, yes, okay, the devil doesn't want you to do the orphanage. That's true. Okay. Yes, it's true. The devil doesn't want you to do it. But now either we give the devil the authority over the orphanage and we say, well, all these attacks is because the devil doesn't want me to do it. He doesn't want me to do it. Hey, Catherine. Hey, Josh. But we never actually take ownership of the piece where we are responsible. Oh, yeah. Okay. You guys can't hear me because some people said hi back. So you knew I heard you and you heard me. Okay, good. You do the spiritual warfare piece. You pray and you say, okay, God, make a way. But then you never actually do the piece that is dependent on your mind actually seeing this thing through to the end. And one of the things that I've so learned in the years of just coaching people around, like helping them to actually live out their purpose, is how much we sabotage ourselves and we don't even know it. And we blame everything else about why that project never got finished. For example, I'm just a shy person, and because I'm a shy person, I can't, like, every time it's time for me to engage with people to get this project through, I just freeze up and I don't do it. I don't do what I know I need to do. Or maybe for some of you guys, it's not an orphanage, it's a business that you're supposed to run. Or for some of you guys, it's not a business that you're running, it's a ministry or a thing, a project, a work that you're meant to do. And every single time you start, you stop. And we don't understand that we don't understand that this is not just a prayer matter. A prayer issue. Because for many of you guys, you know how to pray. You can pray morning till night, you would pray. But there's a component to this where you are actually holding back the very vision and dream that is inside of you. Hey, Christine. Because your mind isn't free. Because your mind isn't renewed. Because your mind isn't transformed. And the reason I'm having this conversation is because we've been having so much conversation about just living out the purpose of God on our lives and the new normal that is happening. Everybody knows that things are different and things are starting to kind of settle back down and everyone's kind of starting to like ease into this new normal. And what I want for you guys who track with me or run with me is that you're able to really take some time in this season where things are a little bit different to begin to ask yourself some questions. Simple, real life questions. What are some of the dreams and visions and things that God has called me to do? Like, seriously. Hey, McKay. What are some of those things that I know, and maybe you don't believe in God, right? But what are some of those things that you just know that you were put on this planet to get done? And then you want to ask yourself this question. At the pace that I am going right now, at the rate that I am going right now, whether it's I'm doing it and I see some progress, but I keep on holding myself back, or I've just full on stopped. I even forgot about the thing. Toyin, the first question already stopped me. Am I actually tracking to get it done before I leave this planet? Guys, these conversations, and I'm going to be having a lot more of these conversations with you guys, because this is some of the things that really motivate me. People ask me, Toyin, why are you so like, let's go about everything that you do? And it's because I know and I understand that when we die, when we leave this planet, guys, we are going to stand before God. And yes, if you believe in Jesus Christ, you're going to stand before him and you're going to be fully forgiven of your sin. And it's going to be awesome because I don't have to pay the price for my sin anymore. Hey, Kathy. But the piece of it that not many Christians are willing to talk about or look at or acknowledge is the fact that when we die, we will also give account for our works. Oh, Toyin said the word works. Works. No, Toyin, it's not about works. Works don't matter. Just love Jesus. Just love God. Just be nice. Just be a good person or whatever. But that's what the Bible says. It says that we are actually going to be judged for our works. Our works isn't going to save us. Chris is like, yes. Our works isn't going to save us, but we are going to be accountable to him for the things that he's given to us on this planet that we were meant to develop and produce and give back. And guys, I always come on when I have another appointment, but I always have another appointment. That's what's up. So that's why maybe I time it that way so that way I don't spend too long on Facebook Live, because you know me, if I start to talk, I would talk for 3 hours. So I always have something coming up. So I have something that I gotta run to. It's always, literally, guys, every single time. I really think I do this subconsciously because I know that if I don't schedule something for right after the Facebook Live, we're going to be on here way too long. But, like, there's this myth that if I love God, I will finish what I start. If I love God, I will do the thing he's telling me to do. If I love God, it's just gonna happen. It has to happen. Don't you hear me? I give myself away so you can use me. And we sing it and we sing it and we pray it and we say it, but we don't ever decide to renew our mind so that we can be transformed, so that we can actually prove what is that good and acceptable will of God. Do you guys see that correlation there? So why am I doing this video? I'm doing this video to begin to just open up your eyes and mind to begin to think about your life. And I know you guys have heard me have a lot of conversation about a lot of different topics, but I think that sometimes we just, hey Elizabeth, we forget the most important things. And the most important things are eternal. If you guys see me run my finance coaching company, it's not because I just love to talk about money. It's because I know that helping to liberate people from being stuck financially so that they can actually live out the purpose and calling of God on their life is part of my calling. So I do that despite people's opinions, because I know that when I stand before God, nobody's going to be standing beside me going, whether they like my conversation or they did not like my conversation. Is it easy for you guys, I'm talking for you now, is it easy to put yourself out there into starting the thing God calls you to do? No. It's not. It's a risk. You put yourself out and people can judge you and there's so many opinions that come at you. But it's, have you done the mind work to withstand that stuff so that when you've done what you're doing, you can actually stand? Hey, Jacqueline, you can actually stand and actually get it done. Those are the questions you want to ask yourself. Am I actually doing the work to be here and do this, whatever this is for you, for the long haul? Am I actually, and why do I say this? Because we study many things in life. We study many things in our time on this planet, guys. We study, we invest time, and we invest real time, like books, reading, sitting down, studying for how many things? We study for our first degree. Some of you studied for masters, you study for PhDs, you study for a job, you get a new job and you have weeks, months, years of training. You invest time into learning how to be a good mom, which is great, and a good dad. It's amazing. You invest time into learning so many different things, guys, into learning communication, invest time into learning leadership. You invest time into learning how to run a business. You invest time into learning all these different things, but many of us never invest time into learning how to stop sabotaging yourself so you can actually do the thing that God has called you to do. So you can actually see it to the end. Why? Because we have this assumption, the second myth. I told you guys there were 3 top myths that keep you from finishing what you start when it comes to doing the thing that God's called you to do. The second myth is if like it's okay to learn in the area of temporal things, but when you invest real time to learn how to actually live your calling and live the purpose of God on your life, like that's like a waste of time. You don't need help to learn how to hear the voice of God and like do the thing he's telling you to do long term and see it to the end. Nah, girl, nah, bro, that should just come easy. Like you should just know. You should just get it. You don't get it? I've seen so many people, guys, in the last week. So I'm going to tell you, I'm going to let you in on the back end, okay? So we have this ad running where we're showing people how to hear the voice of God and do what he's called them to do. And I tell you guys how many people have commented on the ad and said, it's easy, just pray. If it was easy, if it was to just pray, we would be doing the thing God has told us to do, but we're not. We're not. Even many of the people who are commenting saying, just pray. If we were to have a real conversation with them and say, show me the fruit of your life. You've prayed. You've prayed and you've prayed and you've prayed. Now show me the fruit. Show me the thing you've done. Not because I need to know. I don't care. I'm not actually going to do that. But I'm just saying, guys, we have this myth that it's just, you should just get it. It's like being a parent. When you have your first child. And if you're not careful, thank God I'm Nigerian. So my mother did not take for granted that I just would know how to just be a great mom. You get what I mean? But how many people will assume just because you could push a baby out, you know what to do on that night where you can't get no sleep. And I'm not even going to go into some detail because some of the men that are watching don't know what we go through when you're breastfeeding and you're learning and you don't know what you're doing. You don't know. And you actually, like, I remember nights where I would call my mom, hey, Heather, and be like, Mommy, what do I do with this? What do I do with this? And so many people just assume, well, because you had a baby, you should just know how to be a mom for a newborn all by yourself. Sure, I could take the long route. I could have my 6th child and then know what to do. Or my 3rd child, or my 2nd child. That actually, my 2nd child, I knew a little bit more, but I was still calling my mom up on some things. Or on my 1st child, I could just call my mom and some other women in my life that I trust. Hey, Neely, that I trust, and just ask, how do I just deal because I don't have any sleep right now? How did you do it? What worked? What doesn't work? What should I not try right now? What should I not do right now? So we assume it's okay for you to ask questions about key performance indicators in your business, about communication skills, about all these different things that is acceptable. But when it comes time for you to actually begin to ask some real serious questions about how the heck do I stop sabotaging myself when I want to do the thing that God has called me to do? Why is it that I can do everybody else's purpose, help everybody else, but not help myself? I'm always stuck. Why is it? How can I stop that? How can I actually do the thing? Then people start to judge and say, you should already know. Just pray. Literally, I saw that on my ad and I was like, are you kidding me? Do you think that people aren't praying? Do you think that they're not asking questions? But just because you're praying doesn't mean that God's going to step out of heaven and be like, let me come and talk to you and tell you what someone in your life is already willing to sit down and explain to you. So why am I saying all of this? Oh my gosh, guys, it's been like quite a few minutes since I said I needed to leave, and now I'm actually going to be jumping off. Why am I saying all of this? I'm saying all of this, guys, because guess what? I have made a decision that this year, 2020, I'm going to be taking time and walking people deliberately, intentionally through how do we actually get you to do the work that God has called you to do, and not just start it, but finish it. And you know what's amazing? What's amazing is you don't even need to start in somewhere extra spiritual. I mean, we had a woman who just started with us 2 months ago. 2 months ago. And when we started, she was like, you know, I like pray, but it's not like a thing. You know what I'm saying? Like she just was not the super spiritual anything. Hey, Ava. And what did she do? She came. She worked with us. By the end of like 2 months, not even 2 months, after a month, she was like, so I was in prayer. This is what Jesus is saying. This is what I'm doing with my business. These are the decisions that I'm making. I'm making 5 seconds, quick, godly decisions. I finished up this. I'm moving on to that. Hey, Natasha, I'm actually doing the thing. She's like, this is life. This is living. I have a real relationship. Then she's like, oh my gosh, this is affecting my kids. I'm able to teach them not just about God, but I'm able to actually bring them into like, this is what God told mommy, and this is what it meant, and this is what it produced in our life. Like, I have history with God in a month. Guys, don't waste your life. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. And let me just be very clear. I'm not going to come and tell you what God is trying to tell you. I'm going to tell you, how do you hear for yourself? That's another topic. I'm going to write that down, because I need to talk about all the people that you're listening to that you're always running to tell you, give me a word from the Lord. I don't want to forget, me a word from the Lord, because I don't have time to go into that today, but I need to go into that with you guys. Right? You tell me what he's saying. I don't know. No, there is an opportunity for you, especially right now, to slow down and listen for yourself. And if you don't know how to do that or where to start, let's have a conversation. toyindata.com/purpose. This is time, guys. I'm promising you guys, I am on fire like I've never been on fire. And y'all know me, I'm on fire a lot. But right now, I am on fire like I have never been on fire. To live out every single thing that God has called me to on this planet. And to help as many people as possible do the exact same thing. Hey, Kelly. Love you, woman. I am on fire for that. Because you know what I know? What I know is that everything else is going to pass away. Companies are going to come and they're going to go. Relationships are going to come and they're going to go. But what's going to matter is whether or not you actually did the thing that God called you to do. That's what's going to matter the most when you look back on your life. So if you're watching this and you know, Toyin, I start and I stop. I start and I stop. And I want to complete the work that he has given me to do. Put your hand up. Just ask for help. Book a call. Let's have a conversation. And let's talk about exactly what steps you need to take so that not only can you hear what he's saying for you to do clearly for yourself, but you actually can get it done without sabotaging yourself based on this lie that just because you're passionate, you should be able to just finish the work. I love you guys. The link is toyindata.com/purpose. And I'm also going to put the link because I just did a free masterclass that I have not released until now. So I'm going to be putting that link for that masterclass in this video somewhere, watch that masterclass, book a call, let's have a conversation, because guys, this is going to be the biggest decision of your life, to make sure that when you die, you're able to actually know that it's not about salvation now. This is not saying this is how you're going to get to heaven or any of that. No, Jesus died on the cross. That's all I need. That's all I need. That is all I have, and that's all I want, and that's all I need. But I'm talking about converting the love that you have for him into tangible fruit in your life and for the life of others and generations to come. I love you guys, and we will see you on another date. toyindata.com/purpose, and then the bit.ly/TMK masterclass. I'll put that up in the thing so you can see the link for the masterclass. Okay? Peace out. Have a good night. Off to my meeting. Yes.